Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pomerium live stream. I'm your host, Nick Taylor. I'm a developer advocate over at Pomerium, and today I'm hanging out with my friend Ruben Casas. Ruben, how are you doing today?
Not bad, Nikki. Nice to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I just realized your role is different now. You're a staff vibe engineer. So
It's a made-up role, by the way. But
yeah, no,
I'm
no, I know,
actually,
I know.
actually, I switched roles recently at Postman. So I was doing a lot of platform engineering, like
Okay,
front-end tooling, and I moved to the core product. So I'm working full-time now on MCP and the AI protocol and the API client. So that's new.
okay, okay, cool. Well, congrats, man.
Thanks.
Um, I know we're not here necessarily to talk about APIs, but we are here to talk about protocols and fun stuff.
Mhm.
So uh, yeah, so when I chatted with you at GitHub Universe, we were like, hey, let's do a stream, and so we're gonna be talking about Chat GPT games today, but like in essence, it's Chat GPT apps in general. But you decided to go and make a game, which I think is pretty cool. Um,
Thanks.
but before we get into all that, like, yeah, I guess you've been working with. I don't know. I think it might be worth kind of going back a bit because I know, like, I know we're in MCPs all the time, but a lot of people may or may not be. So I guess, like, in your own words, like, I guess what's MCP, and then like we can kind of move from there and talk about UI and all that stuff.
Yeah, and we were discussing earlier, the ChatGPT apps are actually MCPs, and it's not very clear to people that they are
Yeah.
actually an MCP that returns UI. So if you're thinking, what are ChatGPT apps? Well, they're an MCP. And what is an MCP? Well, it's the way you connect your LLMs to anything. Um, the best way for people who don't know what MCP is to get like a little grasp of what it does for you is, if you remember when ChatGPT came out like 3 years ago, last 3 year anniversary ChatGPT recently,
Hmm.
was like, you will ask it something and it'll be like, I have no idea. Is before my training date, which was like early 2022, and I have no idea, and it will get things wrong. The thing is, with MCP, it makes it easier for LLMs, not just ChatGPT, to connect to data and to do
Yeah.
stuff with the data and systems. So that's like the very, very simple definition of what an MCP protocol is. And it's just basically connecting LLMs to the world.
Yeah. No, cool. That's a good explainer. That's great. Yeah. So MCPs. I can't. We didn't meet at the MCP Dev Summit, the inaugural one in San Francisco, but uh, I'm trying to remember where we met. I met you
Oh, I know.
actually. I met you in person earlier this year. I was at KubeCon for work, and then I was talking to Taz, who I know from Toronto, who's in London now. Taz Singh, who does like Guild and all that, and I was like, hey. Just wondering if I can swing by the React London, maybe Advanced London meetup, because I was like in town. I was like, it's kind of funny. I was probably the only person that was doing KubeCon and React, but
Yes, I was trying to remember. Yeah, we met there. I was giving a talk at React Advanced that
oh yeah,
day.
that's right.
And I think I was already into MCP, and I was already talking to people about NCP. That was like back in March or April. I don't remember. It was very early. And I was already looking into how uh, create MCPs, how it will, it will change everything.
Yeah.
And very, very soon after, MCP UI, which is a project
Mhm.
that started all of this, came out by Gliad and Ido. And I was immediately even more drawn to investigate how this is going to help.
Yeah.
Of course, we jumped on that very quickly because, I mean, MCPs help you connect with APIs, and at Postman, we are an API company. So
Yeah.
the company started looking at MCP, but from my perspective, my focus was on the user interaction part, which was the MCP UI, and that's where I
Yeah.
started playing with it back in April. That seems like a long time ago in AI years. That's like like 3 years in
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. It's super wild. And to give context to people who might not be like in MCP all the time or still new to it, the MCP protocol was only created last November, so it literally celebrated its first birthday on November 25th this year. A lot's happened. Like OAuth got added to the spec. There's new things moving. Like there's like You got stuff like elicitation. I know there's tasks coming, and also to your point about the MCP UI, which is a great work from Ito and Liad and contributors as well. Is it's going to be part of the spec now. So so I can only assume, I mean, I don't work at OpenAI obviously, but I can only assume they're going to adopt the proper spec for that. But um,
Yeah, for the ChatGPT app. So hopefully, because
yeah,
the main issue was, NCP UI came out and everybody was trying to, go towards a standard, because otherwise people will be doing their own thing.
yeah,
And then ChatGPT came out, and it's very similar to MCP UI, but they have a really slight difference in implementation, especially on the events side.
yeah,
And we were like, oh no, what's going to happen now? Are we going to have the problem of Android, iOS? You have to build your app
yeah,
three
yeah,
times. But then, very, very soon after, the MCP committee just accepted, or there are still talks, but it's pretty much accepted as an extension. It's not, I think, not directly into the protocol. It's like an extension of the protocol, which makes
okay,
sense
yeah,
for this particular use case. But at least we basically agreed on a standard. That's the most important thing. Like we said,
yeah,
this is the standard. It's very similar to what MCP UI was. Hopefully OpenAI is going to implement it as well. And basically, if you follow the standard, you build the app once, and then you
mhm,
can use it on any of the MCP clients out there, not just ChatGPT and Claude, but
yeah.
anyone can implement the standard and then render UI with MCP.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess we could talk a little technical about MCPY and like even with OpenAI's Apps SDK, which is like we were saying, it's just an MCP app with UI, but um, they went the route with like you've done a lot more of it than me. I'm in the process of building my app, but they still use like there's like a post message API that's been on Windows forever, like document object model Windows, and that's basically what they're leveraging. But OpenAI just created this OpenAI object on the window instead, and then you just under the hoods it's a post message, but so that's how that inner communication works. But I'm curious about because you've done. I only dug in a little bit with MCPUI. I actually only started using it at the MCP Dev Summit in London. Um, his name's escape. Darren from Obot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. I did the workshop for. I think it was MCP UI workshop with Ito and Liad and the people from Obot, and he showed his chess game. So then I got it. I have an MCP client I built for work for demos and stuff, and I actually got it working. It's in a broken state, but I was able to load the chess game, so MCP UI into the MCP client I built. But it was like a little fragile because I literally did it like the night before I gave my talk, so it was like just really more I got nerd sniped. But that was kind of like my experience. And then now, obviously, I've loaded up like the OpenAI. I have the Apps SDK example, so I did the pizza one to just load it up. But my actual app I'm trying to build is I don't know if you. I'm assuming you're familiar with the TV show Pimp My Ride with Exhibit. It's from MTV in North America, but basically this rapper Exhibit would host the show, and like people would have like not so great looking cars, and they would basically like air quotes pimp them up, so make them look better. So I created the MCP server, like the whole textual part works right now, where you can say like add wheels, like these kinds of wheels, this color, etc. But I haven't. I'm working on the UI part right now, so that's what I'm doing. But I know you've been working on a very cool game. If you want to talk about it a bit, or
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned chess. So basically, people have been experimented with MCP UI to see what is possible. And the demos I have seen, or that I saw immediately after ChatGPT released as Apps SDK was, people were putting like chess or tic-tac-toe or whatever on ChatGPT,
yeah,
and that works. However, I don't like it that we're trying to like retrofit games that don't need an LLM into an LLM. And
okay, yeah,
my question, I think to the chess one, but my question was like, okay, but what is ChatGPT's role in here? Because otherwise it's just
yeah,
like an orchestrator that renders inside the chat. But the point is that the chat interacts with the game. And I think
yeah,
that the use case for chess was like for cheating. where you can ask
Yeah.
the LLM to give you tips on what to do, which is good, I guess. But if we're thinking about real brand new use cases for this technology, which is what I'm
Yeah.
interested in, and I have a really cool analogy, like when mobile apps came out, it was the
Yeah.
same, right? So we have the different mobile games that didn't exist before because we didn't have phones. Like mobile phones
Yeah.
didn't have internet, and we didn't have the iPhone. And if you remember back then, a lot of people tried to retrofit websites into the phone. And you have this really tiny interface where like you're having a desktop site rendering in mobile, and it was
Yeah.
painful. That didn't work. I mean, yes, cool. Yeah, you can render in the phone on the phone, but
Yeah.
the success came when mobile apps, native mobile apps, started to make use of the new features that the phones came with now, in terms of the GPS, in terms of the camera, in terms of you have internet on your phone in your
Yeah.
pocket 24/7. And then really cool innovations came out back then, like in the 2010s, because of this new technology. Now we are at
Mhm.
that point with ChatGPT where we are trying to put the desktop website in mobile, where
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we are trying to put retrofit all the things that we had before into this new thing, this new technology, which is ChatGPT. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, what can we do that is native to the LLM? So I want the
Yeah.
UI part to be a helper, like an addition, but the game still has to be powered by the LLM. And I had this
Yeah.
idea for a while. And the only way to get me to do something is to motivate me with a hackathon or like a deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the Tanstack hackathon, we were in New York actually at React Summit, when
Okay.
they were doing that, and Tanner was there, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll submit, and I submitted the game. I did it like in 3 days, so it's not very polished. I think you shared the code there,
Yeah.
and we had to use Tanstack to create the MCP server and the ChatGPT game. So let me just show you first, and then let me see if I can share my screen.
Yeah. Go for it. I'll
Okay.
bring it
And
on
we
the
can
screen.
have a look at the game, and we can talk about what's what the let me see, share tab. Which window shall we share?
Okay.
Oh, 1 second, I cannot share.
Oh, you gotta restart the browser, maybe.
Come on, don't tell me I have to restart. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. It's there. Let me bring it in. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Here.
Let me just. Okay, cool.
There we
Hopefully we
go.
don't have to. The one thing with ChatGPT apps right now is, I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah. Yeah. See it perfectly.
Okay, I'll just dismiss something. Ignore. The problem with the ChatGPT apps right now, I don't know if it's going to change very soon, is you have to use developer mode. So
Yeah.
they are not allowed inside the normal ChatGPT experience. I think there's going to be like an app store sort of kind of review for apps to be published. But in the meantime, it's developer mode, and you have to go to your connectors, and then you have to create a new one. And I'm going to share my URL here, which is this one. There is no auth, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And and then you can install it. But once it's installed, it's here, and you can ask the thing, play city quest. And this is what becomes an agent-first experience, in my opinion, and is the UI displays. But
I
I'll
think.
show you.
I think I see your to-do list.
And I
Oh,
said,
okay. Now I see your calendar.
sorry,
Okay. Yeah.
sorry,
Quick.
okay.
No. No.
Hey,
It's okay.
stop,
It's okay.
stop. Okay, are you not sharing yet? Let
Yeah.
me just.
Okay. Here. I can turn it off for a second till you find it.
Okay, where is it?
Okay.
My to list. 1 second.
At first, I thought you were showing a different view, and then I was reading the screen. I was like, "Oh, that's his to-dos for today, I guess."
There we go. Can you? Oh, no, not that one. That's
Okay.
Postman. Well, actually, I can show Postman, but let's let me see if I can show the actual GPT.
Okay.
Don't share it just yet. All right.
Okay.
Can you see now?
All right. Yeah. City
Okay.
Quest.
Okay. So this is ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
the the UI that renders initially is more like a setup, like setting up the game. But once you set up the game, which is basically I want to play in London or New York, and
Okay.
ChatGPT becomes my you call it like a dungeon master, similar to Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Because I have a UI, I can do things like creating my picture and character card. I can create the game type. I don't know if you know Kitse. I created a
Yeah,
Kitse
I don't
game.
know him personally, but I follow him on X. I
that's
know.
that's a mode, a funny mode that I added. But the modes are like just a tour guide, or you can go for food, or you can do a super quick race or Kitse mode. Maybe we can try in a minute.
Okay.
But I want to play in New York, and this is where the game starts, and you see that the LLM becomes like I changed the personality of ChatGPT to become
Okay.
like the dungeon master, and the
Oh,
dungeon
okay.
master is gonna guide you through the city. And the reason I had this idea is because I know people have been doing this. If you're in a city that you don't know, you be taking, asking ChatGPT, hey, what places should I visit?
Yeah.
And you start for directions or for things like uh, fun facts about the places. And a fun fact is I used to be a tour guide, so it's very close
Oh,
to what I
okay.
used to do. I used to take
Some
people
good
around in
domain
London.
knowledge.
So ChatGPT is a better tour guide than I am. It will give you very good facts. So I turned into a game. Now, if we are in, for example, in New York, and I want to say, take me to the Statue of Liberty, and we go there. The game loop is you go to a place. Once you get there, it will ask you to. Well, it'll give you directions, but once you get there, it will ask you to take a picture, and the picture is there is one reason for the picture. So I
Okay.
arrived. The picture to confirm that you arrived to the place. Of course, this is on desktop. It works on mobile now. It didn't used to work
Okay.
on the mobile app, but it works now. And let's add just another picture for now.
Side
And
note,
I
but this is
get
very cool. Very cool.
So the game loop is you arrive at the place, take a picture, and then it will ask you some questions like challenges about the place, and
Okay.
then it will give you like this point system that I created, which is I quest completed, I earned 200 gold or whatever, and I got a badge. But now you can it's not asking me at the moment for questions, but it's asking me to go to the next one. But if I ask it to give me a challenge about the Statue of Liberty,
Okay.
the fun part is because it knows where we are, is will ask you to go into the right place and ask you a concrete question of the place where you are, which I
Okay, so
thought.
this isn't just us sitting here. This is like you really use it where you like. I mean, obviously this is a demo right now, but like you could literally be in the Statue of Liberty and like, oh, here it is, kind of.
Yes, and interesting, when I was playing in New York, it was like there is a statue of a dragon. You need to go and find it and take a picture. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's not right. That's not real." And then actually in Koreatown, there is an actual statue of a dragon outside a shop.
Okay.
That I didn't know it was there, and he asked me to go there and take a picture. So it's really cool. He's asking me what object is Lady Liberty holding in left hand. What is it? The flame thing? I mean, what's it called?
Yeah. Torch. Yeah.
The torch. And then if I am right, close is the torch. Come on. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It was
Well,
the tablet.
there's two arms, like
Oh,
tablet in
yes.
one, torch in the other. So
Missed it. Anyways, because I didn't do it, I didn't get any points. But if I get the points, he will just come up with this UI again and then just give me some more gold. And
Okay.
this is the game loop. At the end, I can just say finish the game, and it's going to give me like a summary. People like to post on social media and do like stories. So it gives me
Yeah.
like a story that I can share on Instagram or whatever on my quest. This is only the pictures I uploaded, but if you upload real pictures, they'll be here.
Okay.
And you can share it on Twitter, and it's going to be like, this is the game and it's done.
Nice.
This is the basics of the game. Now, the basics are good, but I realized this is the kick. This is the difference. is when I was in New York and I tried to play this with people, I then soon realized that single player is interesting, but
Yeah.
what was really more fun was multiplayer. So I have a chat history here
Okay.
with the guys who we were having dinner, and we were like, "Shall we play City Quest?" This is after the AI engineer meeting in New York,
Okay.
and we started playing. The thing is, ChatGPT released this um, group chat feature. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
I did not know. I'm gonna look it up right now.
So it's I don't know about this is a great use case, and I don't know what other use cases will be for the group chat feature. The thing is, it doesn't work with MCP apps slash ChatGPT apps. So we
Okay.
started the game, but then the UI goes lost. But the game setup uh, stay there. So we still managed to like go around the city, and it was still like in character where
Okay.
we were doing quests. This is the dragon. Remember, I talked about the dragon. So this is the real dragon that he told us to go and visit.
It exists.
Exists. And it was more fun when it was multiplayer. So everybody was here in this chat, and we were
Yeah.
asking ChatGPT what to do, where to go, and he started just coming up with some UI because the UI was not working.
Okay.
So we ended up doing like, and ended up like on his own. We didn't ask like generating images of what we're doing, which
Okay.
is started being funny. And one interesting one was we went to a karaoke place and it was closed. So we went to another one,
Okay.
and then
Is that Eric from Code Rabbit?
yes, Eric.
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I saw him
You
a
know?
couple times. Yeah.
And then this is the funny part where we got to this door, right? ChatGPT said, "Go to this door. Look, it's like it doesn't look like a karaoke bar, right?"
Yeah.
And this single door, there was a lift, and the people were trapped in the lift.
Oh, no way.
We are we arrived, and we were like, people were just stuck and just banging on the door saying, "Hey, we're stuck. Get us out of here." I was like, "Is this part of the game?" Well, it is now.
Yeah, yeah. This got real really fast.
Just go really fast. We had to call 911, and they managed to get out like after 10 minutes. Somehow they got
Okay.
the lift was gone stuck, and they got out. They were pretty drunk and probably causing a lot of disorder. And we didn't tell you we didn't go to that karaoke bar after that. That's for sure. We went to a
Okay.
different one. So
Yeah.
we went to a different one, and but it was fun. Look how long this conversation got. Like, so there is something about this. We really
Yeah.
had a lot of fun. It was interesting, but the reason it worked was two things. One, the multiplayer made a big difference because social games are definitely better than single player games.
Yeah, for
And,
sure.
and the UI part, even though it was not enabled for this particular instance of the game, like the prompt that we shared with ChatGPT at the beginning,
Yeah.
created the whole experience. And now,
Okay.
once they enable this for multiplayer, which I hope they enable GPT apps for like for the group chat feature that they released.
Yeah.
I can imagine this game is going to be even more fun because you
Yeah.
just go and play with your friends, and if you have a system
Okay.
to save the score or to create the summary at the end, it's going to be super interesting. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
that's the game.
No, that's
Um,
very cool. I thought you were gonna say when you did multiplayer, because I've worked with PartyKit uh, from 3.1 from
yeah.
Sunil, because I was on one of those. Jason Langsdorf has Code TV. I've been on a couple of them. I was on one of them before it was in person, so it was a virtual one, and it was PartyKit, and I basically made a collaborative piano. But you could essentially use PartyKit to do the multiplayer, because you could say like, call, and then it's like Nick sends this, and then you're just there's a PartyKit server you could listen to, so you could actually output it. And that, I mean, assuming they don't do the chat, but it could still introduce some interesting things by having PartyKit in there, like, because you could even be like, you could have a UI part where everybody's interacting on something as well. So that's the first thing that came to mind when you mentioned the group chat. But
Yeah, I think the Cloudflare released a few templates on how to do this. So the chess game that I was talking about, I think it was a demo from Cloudflare where they had
Oh,
something
okay.
similar to PartyKit with socket connections going and communicating in real time.
Yeah.
The thing is, the chat is not shared. So the game is shared, but the chat is not. So the difference with the group chat feature of ChatGPT is
Hmm.
is a group chat. The chat instance is shared.
Yeah.
So I guess you can. I mean, it's two modes. One is multiple chat instances with one single game instance that is shared across using PartyKit or something similar, or you
Yeah.
have just one chat instance where everybody's typing and interacting with the LLM in the same place.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because like in Party Kit, you can do rooms, so you could essentially start like you'd have to have people join the room, I guess, and then you could have multiple actual. Anyways, getting into weeds a bit maybe, but I feel like it could be interesting.
yeah, the
Um,
interaction is the one I'm not sure, because it means that the LLM, there will be like multiple instances of ChatGPT interacting with the game. And if you go back
yeah,
to the beginning on the reason I wanted to do this game is because the ChatGPT, like the LLM, is part of the game. It's not just
y-
on the side.
yeah,
It's more like the core experience is the LLM.
yeah, and this is a good thing to point out. Just because you can put something in there doesn't mean you should. Like
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like it is not about retrofitting things into
yeah,
ChatGPT.
because you are burning tokens. So if you're just like, hey, this game I made for mobile, I'm just gonna have like a iframe loaded in there now, and so you're using tokens for no reason potentially. So, but this is one. I know you said this isn't that polished, but honestly, this is very impressive, regardless of if it's not completely polished. And it, I think this literally could be an app people would use, right? Like you obviously you tested it out with some friends, but like I would use this if I went into a city. It would be super fun, and it it could be interesting too in the context of the group stuff. Like when people are new to the city and they don't know people, like maybe maybe you go to a meetup and then like you all go out and then you can kind of team up on in the group chat or something. So it could be a good like kind of icebreaker thing too. So
There
yeah.
are, there are other ideas I've been thinking about. Keeping this experience in the main thing is the chat interface or the LLM interface.
Yeah.
Think, for example, in the game space, of course, this one, but also like escape rooms. I
Oh
remember,
yeah, yeah,
during COVID, I did an online escape room, and the online escape room, believe it or not, it was actually fun. We couldn't all get out anywhere, and it was literally a website where you could go and do escape room with your friends online. So we
yeah,
did Zoom. But if you take that and now you integrate it with ChatGPT, which is it becomes like the person helping you or directing the escape room experience and giving you the challenges, and it
yeah,
becomes a real person that you can talk and send messages to. It creates a really good experience that is brand new, that is not something that you have done before. And as you
yeah.
said, it is something that we use. I only built this game is because it's something that I actually used before. I played this
Yeah.
game by myself when I went to New York for the first time. The only thing I did was injecting the UI element to it. But I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that people are already doing this. Like I'm sure people are
Yeah.
ChatGPT users are already doing this sort of thing of
Yeah.
playing, Dungeons and Dragons, or using it as a tour guide, or
Yeah. So
um,
you've reinvented TDD, tourism driven development. It's-
That's a nice one.
yeah.
Um,
Couldn't
I
resist. Sorry.
I like it. I use it. I don't know. I mean, ChatGPT is being used in day-to-day life. Now with just the Apps SDK,
Yeah.
the only thing that was missing was that interactivity, not just for the UI part, but also just to ChatGPT is going to this place anyway. Like for bookings, for things, it's natural to
Hmm.
see things instead of just text, right?
Yeah.
When I was booking a trip, I was going crazy because I could not see. It will give me 3 links. I'll go to the links; they're already fully booked, and it
Yeah.
was driving me nuts. I was crazy. I was like, "What? First, what are you showing me? Things that are not available, and second, when I go to the link, whereas if you can create like a booking tool that shows you, okay, here are the pictures of places you want to go,
Yeah.
here are the dates, it is available or not. It will be way more efficient with the ChatGPT apps.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's really a super cool thing. And I could even see like you were saying, like chess is, you're kind of cheating with it, but I feel like the adding the UI could make ChatGPT like a learning tool as well. Like I'm obviously you can learn from ChatGPT right now, but I'm thinking like, maybe not all the cases apply because you still want a human in the loop, but like maybe you want to learn to draw, and then so like you could have a ChatGPT app where it's like, I don't know, maybe you say like you create some kind of curriculum and then you'd be like, okay, today we're drawing, fruit in a bowl, like classic thing I did in art class, I think a long time ago. And then, it could be something like, upload your progress and then like you could get critique, like, I don't know, the shadows are there, but the sun's over here. So it doesn't make, I don't know. I could see a lot of applications. I mean, not just that, but obviously it could be used for cheating, but yeah. And a lot of people like use ChatGPT for a lot of things. Like I know they've mentioned a lot of people use it for mental health, which I don't know if that's good or bad or not, but no comment there. But so like people are using it for all kinds of things. So like I definitely think there's going to be an explosion with the ChatGPT apps marketplace. I don't see why there wouldn't be. So
Yeah, I think one critique was you haven't seen a lot of these out there.
yeah,
My counter argument is still in developer preview. Like
yeah,
I don't see a place yet for non-approved apps to be on the ChatGPT. There's not even marketplace yet.
yeah,
So
exactly.
people are getting ready and just looking at these use cases. So once it's open for submissions, I think we're going to start seeing really creative use cases. I mean, the ones that we already have there are very good. Especially I was in a meeting, one of the companies that do properties similar to, I think, Zillow
Oh
in
yeah, yeah,
America,
yeah,
and they were like, "It's not available yet, but we are getting ready because we know as soon as they are available and people can install them, they will be super helpful." And that's one of the best
yeah,
ones I have seen, which is like property search, where the LLM in natural language, you can refine the search, look at the things that you care about, ask
hmm,
about the places where you are looking at houses. This is the thing with ChatGPT, is that he has knowledge of pretty much anything.
yeah,
So you're not constrained by what the database or what these places have on the data. You can just ask anything, and that context will be passed to the UI.
yeah,
So it's not there yet, that's for sure. Developer experience is not there yet, for
yeah,
sure. But once they open, there will be a lot of use cases. Again,
yeah,
making the similar comparison to when the mobile apps came, they were
hmm,
really useless, funny apps, like the beer thing, and
yeah, yeah,
that started during that era. But it wasn't very, very soon after where we started seeing, like the Ubers and Airbnbs, people taking advantage of those use cases that didn't exist before. So
yeah,
that's what I'm expecting to see from ChatGPT apps as well.
yeah. No, and yeah, just being able to pull in more context, no pun intended, about like where you're going and stuff. So yeah, it's curious to see where it goes, but like, yeah, the DX isn't there yet. I, like we were talking before the stream, like I found the apps SDK docs a little confusing because like I would have just called out like this is an MCP server immediately, and like like I don't know, like I literally when it first came out I thought it was something different, and then I'm like I dig in further, and then obviously I was aware of MCP UI.dev, so I was like, okay, it's just an MCP server. Well, not just, but it just wasn't clear to me initially, I guess is what I'm getting at. But
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't. ChatGPT never like push a lot of the MCP directly, like by name.
mhm.
But I guess now with the new MCP apps, which is the standard, and everybody's going towards the same direction. And actually, one of
Yep.
the guys from OpenAI is part of the MCP committee, and so I think the thing with MCP, and this is not just for OpenAI, is very technical. It's a
Yeah.
very technical name. I wonder if they were just thinking MCP is the protocol. We don't want to put any of that because it's more like a consumer product. you
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to
Totally.
you
Yeah.
don't want to put like, okay, this website is built on HTTP and web servers. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know. This is just guessing, but the yeah, it's literally just an MCP. They call it connectors on the app directly
Yeah.
on the UI.
Yeah. No, and I think it's interesting too, because like obviously you want to have an app with UI potentially, but you could always like you could fall back if it wasn't supported, and just turn into textual mode. So like it would kind of have a backwards compatibility, kind of like to your point about once you went into the group chat, like the MCP didn't work in there, but you could still get textual responses, right? So
Yeah, I wonder if it works with. I don't think the connectors work at all. So you cannot even make tool calls on the group chat feature.
oh, okay,
Um,
okay, it doesn't work at
I
all.
don't.
Okay, okay.
I don't know if it's a technical limitation or just basically just they just released a new feature that is not. It doesn't have all the capabilities. I don't know if there is a technical problem there. But yeah, once you can imagine, not just with UI but with MCP tools in general, with
Hmm.
the group chat feature, you could connect to any data,
Yeah.
and then you can discover things. I need to look into what use cases for that group chat feature is. um, People mention a few, but I don't know, it's weird. Apart from this use case, it's weird. I don't know, what
Okay.
would you
Yeah.
invite your LLM to your group chat? But
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah. To your point about retrofitting stuff, like if you just want to chat with friends, you don't need to burn tokens to do that. I mean, unless it was like, I don't know, maybe from an educational standpoint, you're like, we need to work on a group project,
Hmm,
maybe, but uh
hmm,
knowing like my kids would just be on Snapchat or something else to do that, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
so I don't know. But
yeah.
yeah, it's curious to see where it goes. But yeah, it's still early days, like you're saying. Like again, like MCP is literally a year old. Everybody seems to be getting on board now because it came out of Anthropic, but then like OpenAI is obviously on board now because it's in ChatGPT for apps and stuff. So and I know uh, Goose supports MCP UI, the people from Block. So
Mhm.
so I don't know, it's exciting to see these things. It's also kind of cool to be a part of something that's still developing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
It is cool.
it's kind of like I don't know when like no idea how old you are, but like I remember like when the internet came out, it was like I remember creating my first web page in notepad.exe, and I had like a marquee, hello Nick or whatever, and I got my counter on my website eventually, and I had to I've told this story before, but like ISPs, the internet service providers, used to allow you to have like website space on their actual servers. And I remember adding a counter after reading a tutorial, just like the CGI counter, and it wasn't working. And this is like, I hadn't really done any programming at this point, aside from like basic as a kid. And I had to call them to say, can you give me read write access to my CGI bin folder so that my counter can actually update the number? And it was just really wild. And anyways, all I'd say is like that was early days and like the browser wars and all that. And I feel it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of cool to be like it's still like literally early, So it's just exciting, I think.
Yeah, I started the journey with, especially with MCPUI, very, very early. And the thing is, I had to implement, well, I implemented MCPUI, a Postman We were one of the very first clients to support it.
Okay.
Then ChatGPT came out, and we were like, okay, we need to support ChatGPT as well,
Yeah.
because no any other clients will need to integrate ChatGPT, but we have to, because we are an MCP tester tool.
Yeah.
So if you want to test your applications, the ChatGPT applications, you use Postman to test it. So we had to do that, and then again, now that MCP apps is out, I have to do it again. So it's fun to see, to be there from the beginning, but it also means that you are learning, and you are getting a lot of the really, really early bugs and issues that
Yeah.
have not been figured out yet. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned the guys from Block and Goose. We've been on the same journey together. The support was released pretty much at the same time.
Yeah.
And the thing is something very new, and it's going to be different, I don't know, in a year's time. But it is not perfect by any means.
Hmm.
Developer experience especially, and it is still not that great. We haven't we kind of figured out security somehow to render third party arbitrary scripts and HTML into safely into the apps.
Yeah.
That was an interesting challenge because I mean, as Postman, we didn't want to just allow anyone to call the server and then just download random scripts and HTML.
Yeah.
So we had to figure that one out, and that's not a fun one. You know, people say, "Oh, great, this is working," but to make it work in production and safely is another big challenge
Yeah.
that we had to overcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to do it early,
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's
on
cool.
board early.
Yeah. And so like I'm definitely gonna pull down your game and try it out. And I don't know if are you it's open source, obviously. Are you accepting PRs or issues or I'm sure you're super busy, so it's like I'm not, I don't mean this in a pressure you kind of way, but if I like find a bug, would it be cool to put up a PR or like open the issue or
Yeah, well, I'm thinking what I'm gonna do with the game. So what I want to take it next,
okay.
because I had to build it with the constraints of TanStack. So I have two options. I can improve TanStack, start to support MCP apps like more natively. At the moment, it's a lot of like hacking around,
Okay.
bundling, and is the developer experience is very early.
Yeah.
I know with Next.js, they released a little bit of like an SDK for OpenAI apps SDK that helps to build things.
Hmm.
People are taking it to the other extreme. Like you can put entire Next.js websites inside ChatGPT, and I'm like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
But that was not the point, as we discussed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
definitely it's easier. So at the moment, that was like a proof of concept. I've been thinking how to make it like a proper product once they release the App Store submissions,
Okay. Yeah.
which I don't know when that's going to be. And the other thing is, I need to make sure that I'm not going to be paying a lot of the. There is a lot of like features on inference, which is generating images on the fly.
Okay. Okay.
I'm experimenting with some MCP features that reverse that,
Okay.
so I don't have to pay for the inference.
Okay.
But apart from that, yeah, just feel free to clone it and play with it. And
Yeah.
it is not great, by the way. It was a hackathon project, so you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
expect it.
but still, it's cool, man. You know, it's like I haven't seen really any apps out there aside from like the ones that they might have design partners with at OpenAI right now. Like I know Photoshop is coming out with one, and or Adobe has like a few products coming out. I think they have like a PDF one and stuff. So you know, like they clearly obviously teamed up with some big players for sure, but I haven't really seen anybody in the wild building the apps yet. The only ones I've seen are they were more like MCP UI. Like I know Shopify obviously because Liad works there, and like Shopify has MCP UI support.
Yes, there is. If you want to get some inspiration, there are a couple of advents of ChatGPT apps going. So
Okay.
there is one. I'll probably find and send you the links. There is one guy and there is a company. So the guy, I think, what's his name? Is he is it Gavin? I'll send the links.
Okay.
He has been creating ChatGPT apps for like every day for a while,
Oh,
and some
okay.
of them are pretty cool. The use cases, again, this is the part where experimentations is great, because it might not make sense.
Yeah.
Some of the apps might be like, what's the point, like retrofitting things into ChatGPT?
Yeah.
But some of them have like something.
Yeah.
Some of the apps have been created. He's using also a different framework. He's using
Okay.
what's the other React framework?
Oh,
Um,
not solid JS.
Redwood. No,
Redwood
React.
JS. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Redwood.
yeah.
Yes, he's been using a lot of like Redwood and Cloudflare to build these apps.
Okay.
Really cool stuff. So I'm gonna share that, and also let me see if I can find the advent of ChatGPT apps from the company that is
Yeah.
doing this, which is, one second. So you can have a look at the things that people are building. Okay, so this one is from. It's really hard to find this stuff. I wonder if there is a website for I've seen it on Twitter. So the thing is, so the guys are from Alpic, alpic.ai.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
called the Advent of ChatGPT.
I was gonna share a link to them. They're on the Context this week on Thursday.
Yeah. So alpic.ai, this Advent of ChatGPT apps.
Okay.
There is one, the one that they built today. It was a flight tracker, kind of like what do you call it? Like booking flights using ChatGPT apps.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one of the use cases. Definitely is going to be.
Yeah, that's the one they always talk
super
about,
useful.
but it's a real use case. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have we got? Look, there are 15 already here. Like study buddy for ChatGPT.
Okay. So
An arcade, murder. I saw one that I really like recently. We talked about the escape rooms, right?
yeah.
This one is called Murder in the Valley. It is it's like a murder mystery
Okay.
where you have to, and this is the important one of integrating ChatGPT very deep into the app, is like you have to interview the different suspects in the murder mystery,
Okay.
and ChatGPT plays the role of those suspects, and they all have their personalities, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
ask them questions.
Nice.
So you see where I'm going with this is those are the ones I'm interested in.
Yeah.
They turn ChatGPT's powers into something that you can interact,
Yeah.
and that you can do stuff that you cannot do before. Like you can
Yeah.
pretend to interview someone for them to give the answer about the murder mystery. So that's another game I found that was from the Alpic guys. That was really good.
Yeah. No, that's smart. But to your point about like, even if this app doesn't make sense, it's just testing the boundaries and like, because like I'm already thinking, like I've been doing the advent of AI from Block or from the Goose people who are at Block, but I did was it last Friday? I think it might. Is it already only last Friday? But they had a challenge where you had to do hand gesture detection. So like if I did a thumbs up, and stuff, or I added some other gestures, but the whole point was I'd never really done anything with computer vision, so I got nerd sniped. But the idea was they pulled in, speaking of flights and stuff, there was a flight tracker data, so you would pull in this info, and then you had to use your hand gestures to like move the list. So like if you did like a fist, it would start scrolling down. If I did open hand, it would go scroll back up. And then I added some other things. So like if you wanted to open like a modal to see more info, I did a thumbs up, and then it opens the modal. And then when I'm like done with it, I would do thumbs down. And so anyways, it was just a lot of fun, but like it got me thinking, like I could do that because you were using the camera in yours as well. Like I could bring the camera into there, but again, is it retrofitting or not? Because like it could be something like, if it's a game, help me generate some filters, maybe use AI to do that. But at the same time, maybe it's not the best use case, but maybe AI helps you by the flight, and then you're like, oh, tell me more about this place, or is this a good place to go to? But it's more just like you're saying, just experiment, have fun with it, and then the real use cases will definitely appear. I mean, I think there's I mean, a lot of stuff like you were saying, like, the flight booking flights is definitely a huge one, because you could have it basically figure out your whole vacation, and you don't have to speak to
Yeah.
anybody. So like that's a big win. And then you know book your flight, all that. Here's my budget. So yeah.
Well, here's another idea because we were talking about things that people are already doing. I planned then my entire holiday to Japan with my family using ChatGPT.
Okay.
So I had like a ChatGPT folder with all the things about my trip to Japan. But it was again very difficult to manage because I had to upload the files manually, and I would ask it. The itinerary was kind of not properly designed. I had to keep going back and forth with ChatGPT about itinerary.
Yeah.
But if we can have like there are people who you pay people to do this for you,
Hmm.
right? If we can get this right in terms of getting the right information in, the right user experience in, because it's all text. When I was doing it, it was all text.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's walls of text that I don't want to read when I'm on holiday, right? I just
Oh,
want
totally.
to be like, directions. So show me next. So show me a card of where we going or whatever. That's people are using ChatGPT for this. So
Yeah.
it's not like we are trying to find a use case that does not exist. It does exist because people are using
Hmm.
ChatGPT for a bunch of things. Is how do you refine that user experience to integrate with the apps and with the external world?
Yeah.
The limitations I had with that was it was not connected to anything. So I didn't have an MCP connected to my flight or an MCP connected to the itinerary or the places I wanted to go. It
Okay.
was all inside ChatGPT. So that was the limitation. I'm sure those things will come up, and I'm sure you will get things. I'm just coming up with ideas now.
Yeah.
How much time we have?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we're about to live code an MCP app right now. No, um, yeah, no, it's your point about like the hackathons and stuff. I think it's a good fun pressure to do something. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's pressure because it's time box, but it's also not like this is going to affect your job necessarily. Kind of pressure. So like like the way I've been moving right now is like what I'm trying to do is build a decent template to do these things. So like I already have an MCP TypeScript template for just regular templates. So it's using like the MCP TypeScript SDK. It's the only thing is it's a serverful template right now. So you deploy it with Docker or you can run it locally, obviously. But um, you know, because like if you're using the TypeScript MCP SDK, they recommend using Express.js. Like that's what they've built it with. So I'm using that right now. I like Hono, but and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just use Hono. Like I looked it up, and it's like, okay, you can kind of retrofit it, but it slows it down, which defeats the purpose because like Hono's faster. So, but yeah, it's been fun just building that. And so my goal is like I'm not sure how you're building yours right now. Well, you did it in a hackathon, so obviously you didn't have a template, I guess. But aside from TanStack Start, but like I'm looking to update my MCP TypeScript template so that I have a Vite build running just for UI, and then I can link the resources, register the widgets, and then you can be live editing your stuff, and then it updates, and then you can debug. And so that's basically what I'm trying to do. I know Basement Valentina, who's over at Basement
Yes,
XMCP.
XMCP. Yeah,
Yeah, she dropped me a message yesterday when I was going live. She's like, "Have you seen XMCP?" And I was like, "I haven't yet. I heard about it. I read briefly about it, but I might check that out too." I know they focus more on serverless, so there's like obviously a Vercel template or deploy for it. But like where I'm at, we're usually self-hosted our software. So like I have like, for example, like my MCP servers run on my own Kubernetes. I have a little mini PC under my laptop to the left here. So that's where I run my MCP servers right
nice.
now. But obviously I can deploy them in the cloud somewhere. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think
there,
that's the thing in terms of the DX. Like, there's not something there quite just yet to just say go. You know?
yeah, there are companies like XMCP that are creating like frameworks for you to create MCP servers on TypeScript. I
Yeah,
mean, the Python guys are probably a bit ahead of this
yeah, like fast
with
MCP and stuff.
fast MCP. Yeah, in terms of UI, the thing with UI and the advantage of the TypeScript MCP server template is, of course, if you are building UI, you are already in the same like environment
Yeah,
where you can build
exactly.
TypeScript apps as well with UI. The challenge right now is the bundling of these apps, because
Yeah,
with MCP UIs and ChatGPT apps, you kind of have to deploy a static version of it, like it's literally just a static HTML. So you have to have a step where you bundle the widgets
yeah,
and register them. So there's a lot of like boilerplate, like plumbing,
yeah,
but I've seen a few that, like the Next.js one, and I've seen a few templates, boilerplate templates for ChatGPT and for MCP apps that
yeah,
are pretty good. That can you start quickly, where you just worry about creating the UI basically and worry
okay,
about the parameters and stuff, so you don't have to
yeah.
um, do it yourself.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's like I initially built my template because like I needed to give demos for work, and
Mhm.
but yeah, it like out of the box you can just literally, just run it, and it comes with an echo tool. So like, it like it's already like it's fully functional. It's just you just have to add your tool calls, obviously. But yeah, yeah, and like for the widget stuff, yeah, like I had something kind of working, and it's basically I'm doing Vite all day because it just makes sense. And basically, you have to kind of do old school where you decide what your chunks are, and then like, this is
Yeah.
my widget chunk for this page and stuff, which is it's totally doable, but that's not automated obviously right now.
Nah,
So because people are used to
yeah, that's
deploying
the
just an
workaround.
app, right?
Mhm.
Which yeah,
That's
yeah,
I see the tooling, like the bundling. I don't think we should create a specific for ChatGPT apps or for MCP apps. I think it should be part of the current bundling system, because what's the point of like reinventing whatever we've been doing in the web?
yeah,
I think it's mostly on that. I'm sure that if I spend some time on the Tan stack one,
yeah,
I can create like a hook into the static side generation of it, and that would be it.
yeah,
Like we don't have to worry about any of the widget HTML. It will just be like a static generated
yeah.
reference to it, and you'll be done.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, and I know like
yeah.
Next.js has the export, so you can just do a static to. They did that with Pages Router. I don't know if that works
Hmm.
with the app router. I haven't tried that, but um,
I had to disable server components on the first ChatGPT app I created. Was a shop connected to the MCP shop that I have
okay.
where I sell the t-shirts. I could not just I couldn't get it working. It was so painful that I decided just just kill the
Yeah,
the React Server components part of it, and just make it
yeah.
like a really simple static spa.
Yeah. Well, you also would have had a
'Cause
vulnerability in your app then. So
true, yeah, yeah. So
not
that
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 it's
was
funny,
another
but
one. That one, the shopping use case is the main one.
yeah.
That's why I have a shop, just to test like selling the t-shirts.
Hmm.
And I added a little twist to that one as well, which was you can upload a picture and then see the t-shirt,
Hmm.
like the picture, like you wearing the t-shirt with Nano Banana.
Yeah.
So that was another use case for the ChatGPT interface,
Okay. Yeah.
for the shopping one.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah. I'm just thinking about Tan Stack. Like, even if it wasn't, well, they have spa mode now, so that's kind of somewhat static to some degree. But like, I guess you could just define routes that are pages, and those pages just don't, there's no navigation to other pages. It's just you hook in
mhm,
like the tool call stuff. But and to your point about like, it makes sense to just stay in the bundling ecosystem, because you might build stuff in your chat gpt app. Like, you're probably going to have a mono repo at some point where your chat gpt apps in there, it's reusing components that you actually use in your actual site. So there's a lot of reasons to not make it chat gpt specific, like you were saying. So
That's right.
Yeah.
I already had trouble with that of like manually updating the references to the styles, for example.
Mm.
I realized that it will look fine locally, and then when I render a ChatGPT, the styles are broken because I missed the correct reference.
Okay.
So there is a lot of if we start doing that manually, then there's a lot of places where things can go wrong.
Yeah.
And what's the point? You know, we already know how to bundle code, how to reference code. It's
Yeah.
just a different mode, which is just exporting the static HTML. That's it.
Yeah. No, totally.
It's not a lot.
Oh, cool.
I
Cool.
think the Alpic guys also have a. I need to check. They also have a ChatGPT builder. I just realized when I looked into the.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I'll probably check that one out as well.
Yeah. I know
They have a way to create.
mcpjam.dev too has a, I was testing that out, and you can debug and like load your UI in there too.
Yeah, but that's more like a tester. This was for builders, like for
Yeah.
building an app with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll probably check it out.
Yeah. I haven't used it too much, like, but I think they have a builder mode in it too. But I've only really been using it to basically, you know, test my MCP and then load the resources. But yeah, no, it's pretty
You
neat.
should check out Postman. We also have that. So check Postman and let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the one working there. So if it's broken, let me know.
Do you have a direct link? I mean, I know there's postman.com, but do you have a link to the MCP
Yeah,
site?
so if you download the Postman app,
Okay.
one of the you know, you can test REST APIs. You can also test MCP with it.
Okay.
So when you create a new tab, you just select MCP. And in my opinion, the developer experience is better. I think it's probably the only thing is people don't know that we have it. That's the only issue that we're having right now.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I can show it to you quickly if you want.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
If I share my screen and I don't mess it up again, I can.
Well, I won't share it until you tell me you got the right one.
I got the right one now.
Okay, cool. Let's bring it in. Okay, cool.
So CityQuest, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our tester. So because when ChatGPT only allows developer mode and you have to create like a tunnel, it is very hard to debug when you're building locally. But with Postman, you just connect to the MCP, the same as any MCP, and then you can have the preview here.
Okay.
And this preview works exactly the same, and you have all the different tools that are available. For example, this is a different tool.
Okay.
And I can run it. So this is for like debugging purposes.
Yeah.
Like debugging purposes for someone who is building a ChatGPT app,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to go and spend a lot of AI credits with the LLM just to see if it works or not.
Okay.
That's how I managed to build this so quickly, because you can just change things, and then you can go and set the correct parameters. So you can say,
okay,
this is what I'm sending, and then it will be rendered here. So that's our product.
Okay.
And yeah, if you get lost, it's just in a new, you select an MCP. We have all the different protocols. MCP is one of those.
Okay.
In Postman.
And the URLs, they're not local, obviously. Do you tunnel it or?
No, they are local because Postman is a local.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was thinking.
Tool.
I thought we were on a web page for a sec. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No, this is the app. We also support it on web, but on web you need to download a separate app because because of the issues with cores and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So we have this companion called the Postman agent.
Okay.
Which is just connected to the web. But to be honest, the app is the best experience. So if you download the app, you will get the different ones.
Okay.
This is the Vercel one. So you can see this is the Next.js experience. So this is the entire Next.js running inside ChatGPT.
Okay.
Even the navigation works. But yeah, it's just the entire one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let me just drop a link to where people can find you again. I know we're almost at time here, and I feel like it's ChatGPT app week because I was doing a live stream yesterday working on my ChatGPT app. We're hanging today. I'll drop a couple links, but tomorrow, I don't know. Do you know Amanda Martin over at Apollo?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, no in person. I want to meet her in person.
Okay.
We haven't had the chance, but yes.
Yeah. I got to.
She was.
Yeah, she's
So,
super cool. Yeah, I finally got to meet her in person in New York this year at I gave a talk at one of their MCP builder summits, meetups. But they're doing building OpenAI Apps SDK tomorrow, and then so it's like I feel like it's ChatGPT week, and then there's also
nice.
like you were saying, Alpic. I'll drop a link to it, but the people from the MCP Dev Summit, they've also got that going on. So there's Alpic and Fractal. So I don't know if you're looking to learn MCP or sorry ChatGPT apps, this is probably the week. So anyways,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode with Alpic and Fractal because they've been quite active in the. We have a MCPUI Discord, and I know what those guys are doing. So
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting stream. I'm
cool,
definitely going to watch it.
nice. Well, listen, Ruben, I know it's well, it's not too late in the UK, but it's definitely later in the evening. But thanks again for hanging. I'm actually really glad we've got to hang in person a couple times this year already. So
Yes.
so it's really cool just
Wow.
to have some face-to-face time. But yeah, no, thanks for coming out today. I know you've got a lot on the go. If you haven't checked out the app yet, it's really cool. I'd only seen screenshots on Twitter, so it was cool to see it in action today. So even though you said it's a hackathon project, it's still very impressive. So encourage people to check it out, fork it, and I'm definitely gonna fork it and check it out. So cool.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Take care, everybody. And if you don't mind just staying on for 1 sec, and everybody else, we'll see you. Actually, I have another live stream in 30 minutes. I'm squeezing everything in before the holidays, but I'm hanging out with my friend Kilian Valkov, who created Polypane. He's going to be talking about how he worked with the Chrome DevTools team to get the Chrome DevTools MCP working with Polypane. So pretty excited about that. And everybody else, yeah, if you want to check that out, just head on over to nikkit.live. The schedule's up there. I'll just drop it real quick. And yeah, and we'll see you in the next one, or maybe I'll see you in 30 minutes. And yeah, Ruben, just hang on for 1 sec. Take care, everybody.